All right, so welcome back to another One Piece video. So today I wanted to kind of revisit Blue Crocodile, and we already took a look at the Knoxville results, which had over 1,000 people playing, as well as the top 32 along with it. We actually saw 3 different Blue Crocodiles in that top cut. So I figured a couple things. One, what does that look like right now for OP04? I actually did an OP03 deck profile / gameplay, stuff like that. Previously, if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out, and as well as my discussion for the top 32 Knoxville. But the other part of that is that how would I tackle it with some of the cards that I like? One of those cards is going to be that Trafalgar Law, the TP, that makes you take a life anytime that you have more than 6 cards in hand. There's a lot of cards that are coming out, especially with like the new law, that punish you for having more and more cards in your hand, which I personally like, because sometimes it just kind of gets out of hand, no pun intended. With this, there's a lot of different ways that you can build a board, control their board, especially with all the new blue tools that you have, and then just win the game out of attrition. To make it easy, let's just take a look at the deck list I've been testing on the sim. So OPTCG sim, completely free. Look it up, Google it. It's pretty easy to set up with. But again, this is Blue Crocodile. It's been out, maybe I can move my camera, since the starter decks came out, obviously. And his effect is still pretty relevant against, you know, things like red or really any big body color. Like, there's a lot of stuff that likes mid to late range stuff. It doesn't really take care of like the 8 drops or the 9 drops or the 10 drops that we now are familiar with in this format. But it does take care of, like, let's say Borsalinos, take care of Marcos. It takes out a lot of stuff. So the leader effect, along with 3,000 Worlds or Gum Gum Red Hawk, or even just playing a 4 cost, literally any 4 costs in tandem with each other, feel pretty good. Now, I've seen a lot of different lists play like 4 Mihawk, for the Gum Gum Red Hawk, for the what I mean, it just felt terrible in my hand. So especially with the amount of removal that you have in general, and just the amount of stuff that you won't be able to counter with, which is why I have 4 of the Soga King instead, which, yes, I understand that it returns back to hand, but that sort of plays into the fact that we do have the Trafalgar Law. A lot of the time it just ends up being a thing where if you send something back to the hand that is 6 cost or a 5 cost even, your opponent kind of has to think about what they want to do afterwards. Are they going to do the same effect or the same card, or are they going to go a different route? Which again, just, you know, plays into the mind game a little bit, but also again helps you with yet another thing that you can't counter with, the Trafalgar Law. And it just ends up being where you can put this guy down as a 7k attacker. They basically burn 1, and pretty much everything else sort of helps you to remove. And I think what you could do, instead of running the Dragon Twister Demolishing Wind, which is kind of a crazy name when you really think about it, you could, you know, just take that out and put 2 of these event cards instead, if you really want to think, or really think that it's going to be better for you to have more removal. Now, we still have the Setamaru package with the 4 Kuma. We do have 2 of the blocker and then 4 of the pacifistas. This just has been great in general. There's no reason not to play in this leader, and as well as just blue in general. Like, if you're playing blue, there's always an option to do that. It's just gonna feel pretty good when this goes and you play it on turn 3 for tomorrow, or you play it on turn 3 going 2nd on 6 Dawn, right? And then you just do it in 1 turn. And if they can't remove it, then there you go. You have a massive amount of value. The new edition of OP04 with Sasaki, where you get to play this for 3 and then refresh your hand. So if you are playing the version where you have 4 Mihawk or a bunch of event cards and stuff like that, it's not gonna feel too bad when you have this and you can refresh your hand and get that back and going. Miss All Sunday also plays into the event cards. She is actually just good in the way of, like, you can just 3,000 Worlds -4, play a Miss All Sunday, and then just get that back on the block. You know, it's not too bad. You know, I don't like it's cool. It's cool. Paying 3 for a blocker, like you have so many blockers here, and you have somewhat of a late game in the 7 cost, 10 cost, 9 cost. It doesn't feel too bad. So like, mess with the ratios as you go, and figure out what works for you. For me, like I said, I like playing for Hog of Law. I like playing the 6. I like making sure that they take a damage and also punish them for having 6 or more cards in hand. And the Kaido has been good. You know, it's been good at 2 for me. You could play it at 3, you could play it at more, but honestly, I don't think that's really necessary. You could clear the board with returning an 8 cost, a 3 cost, and a 5 cost by paying 10 and then minusing 5, go to 7 the following turn, and then play Soga King or whatever else afterwards. So there are different plays, and as you play this deck and as you understand where it is in the format right now, it's pretty solid. Like, honestly, it's pretty solid. Like, if you want to play blue, you should probably play this deck. All right, let's start out this with some Whitebeard, probably one of the most played decks in competitive format, so might as well just throw that in there. And this is, I think, this is the original build for Blue Croc. And again, if anything, you can take a look in the description in case you want to see the deck list. I did have the 2 cost event card, which I'm scrolling over, the Dragon Twister, to basically get out of this pretty much perfectly, because he swung at 8, and then I just bottom decked his Nami in response. So I didn't really have any plays to do that. And he had 1 open, which I didn't really understand what it was for, but I went ahead and played the Kuma instead. So that way, just play the 4 and no sense of swinging since he's at 6. And he's going to take a life anyway, so may as well just do that. So now he's going to swing a dry 6. Cool thing about this is that, you know, as you curve out, or as you go into your curve, I should say, if he plays a 4, 6, 5, 7, whatever, I have something in my hand for that. I was thinking of playing this up tomorrow, but I was like, no, that's not probably a good idea to do. So I went ahead and go ahead and do this. I think you know what, I could actually swing with the Kuma and then just like respond with Pacifista afterwards. I don't think it's really too much value to keep it as a blocker, but I mean, it's whatever. Honestly, it's whatever. I do counter out at this one because there's going to be bigger swings as we see another 4/6 and a Sanji come out. I do have another 3000 worlds, which I think what we do is 3000 worlds and then play this on tomorrow. If he doesn't have an answer for it, which I don't think so, unless he plays Fire Fist, which I doubt, I think it is going to stay there and gain some value over time. So now we're going to have a 8 swing. I can't block that. I can counter out of this one, but chose not to because I wanted another attacker. And in retrospect, I think, like, you know, I could have just countered out of it because it was just probably easier just to pitch 1 and then just block the next. I do have a 5k swing here and a 6k swing to his life. And I think we can do a 6k swing again with the Sentomaru. I do have 6 open, I do believe, or 7 open, so I could swing 6 with Sentomaru and then bottom deck the Luffy. So I was just deciding if that was going to be the play or not. And just doing the head math here, we can go 8, I believe. Yeah, 8 to face. Not being afraid. We got a radical beam out of it, which is good. That's very, very good. Don't want him to have a radical beam on our kill turn, so. Here's another 8k swing. I think he should have went face, to be honest. I think he is fine. I mean, especially if he has another blocker too. So we played our blocker himself. We did draw Kaido earlier. We do have a Soga King as well, which was, like, both of those aren't amazing, but that's okay. And I was just trying to bait out the blocker there, so that, because, like, I could have more Dawn to use in another attack in my leader, if he blocks with the chopper, and then I return the Luffy. Because this, like, having a 12k swing is really good for the kill turn, but like drawing 2 and pitching 2 is not bad either. So he immediately plays out the Luffy. I counter out of it with the 2ks, which, you know, I think the 12k is probably a little bit more important. I have the Soga King for the 6k, and quickly, very quickly, I was thinking, I was like, I think we bottom deck the Luffy -4 to return the chopper. We swing 12, and then we just we go for it basically. And I think that's probably enough. Like, being able to do that. He did play Bad Manners, which I don't really think that's a good idea in Whitebeard, just simply because, you know, you want your hand. You want to use as much as you can to counter out with. But I didn't really see what he pitched off, so it could have been something not very useful. Either way, we won that one. It was really all about putting the pacifistas out, choosing your battles as far as pitching your counters, and then here playing the new 10-drop Kaido to clear his board out, and making sure that we have a win con later on is super important. I think him playing Ace would have been really annoying as well, but you know, having that blocker did help out over time. All right, next up is Rebecca. So in this matchup, you know, at least like you can get around Kairos' effect pretty easily because of your leader effect. You can 3000 Worlds as well. Trafalgar Law basically pings at their life without you needing to do anything or getting around their blockers or whatever. Sentomaro gains value as long as they, 1, don't keep a Orlumbus on, and 2, don't swing Luffy into it. And spoiler alert, he did both in this game, if I remember correctly. At least one of them, and it's not fun. This All Sunday is also like not very useful, so you'll see me counter out of it pretty soon, or pretty quickly, I'd say. We're gonna get Kuma out. We don't have a target for it, which is kind of a bummer, but I don't think there was really, like, outside of playing Sentomaro for 3 and swinging for 6, like, it didn't, I mean, I guess that would have been fine. I also wanted to get the Law out as soon as possible, because it is a 7k swing pretty much every single time. I was being a little bold here, just swinging 5s, because I think the idea is that for him to take as much life as I possibly can make him take, and then go into the Law. Also, my hand is not looking amazing. Like, it's okay. Like, if he plays he plays a Luffy on 9, I can go ahead and play my Mihawk, which I quickly found out that I forgot I was going second, and I have 8 coming up. So not amazing. He chose not to swing, which is fine. I think playing out another Pacifista, and then just having another swing feels good here. And I think we can have another blocker in case he restands Luffy, and we can kind of protect from there. I think it would have been fine to swing the Sentomaro. I mean, it's gotten its value out of this game so far, so I wouldn't have, like, I don't think I would have been mad if it went and gone. He immediately swings at the Mist Sunday, knowing that I don't have anything in drop, so may as well just swing at it. I'm also at 5 life, so like if he's going the OTK route, like I'm probably okay with that. Yeah, I'm probably okay with that. I do get to a point where I can play Mihawk now, which is good. This Sabo doesn't really do anything for us, or for him. You can swing with the Kairos, which is fine. I'll take the 1. Another card in hand, and then being able to basically get to a point where I can actually use my cards in life would be fine. Okay, I didn't. I did not. So I do have a 10 drop here. I could return these guys out. -5. Return the Kairos. And then next turn I can still Trafalgar Law. And I have 2 in hand, by the way, so like they can't really do anything about my Kaido unless he gets a, oh, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. They have red rock. I was gonna say they don't have anything unless they have something for it. He spent his entire turn basically playing out removal. So I think it just makes it easy for me just to play the law and then swing 8 for his Sabo blocker. If he plays Luffy next turn, I can Mihawk it. I can also play another law. I think he's reading the law, if I had to be honest. I think he's reading the law. I can swing 5 here pretty freely. Sensibaro is still on board. Like I said, I think I got the value out of it. I was okay if it was gone. So like switching up that last play to kind of protect it was probably not like amazing at that point. And I think Rebecca is just sort of playing behind now because like everything he threw at me, I've also thrown it back and returned it back to hand. So now he's playing Luffy, which now he can swing inactive and as well as the same turn he's played. So this law is obviously a threat. I counter out of it. He can restand it and then do it again, which I think this is a waste on him for a couple reasons. One, like you want all that in his drop to get that. I don't have anything in hand. Wow. Also quickly figuring that out. So he immediately Mihawk the guy. We're going to swing here, the Luffy. I don't know why I say the guy. He's going to take the 1, and then I return back the Sabo, which is not, like, amazing, because the on-play effect is great. But, you know. Sensibaro is just here for the show, unfortunately. Getting some great entertainment. Another Luffy comes down, and he immediately goes into my Mihawk, which is understandable, to be honest. He's gonna swing at my Sensibaro as well. I think he passes, which I immediately just go into law, and he just like, this is just like the law just enables me to progress the game without him wanting to progress the game, which is why I like it. Like a lot of these decks like Dofi, even Dofi, Croc, Rebecca, like all these newer slower decks, or control decks I should say, they just gonna lose to Trafalgar Law because now he has to play blockers. He has to eat through 5 life basically, which he can do. You can totally do. Here's another Luffy, which I think is just a desperate attempt to win because now I can just swing 15 and that's it. Right? Like there's something around here. There you go. So that was Rebecca. So I mean, like I don't know what was in his hand, but maybe he just like saw the 5 life and he was just like, it's a wrap. But if he had another 3-cost event card to give it a double attack to swing twice with the other Luffy, he would have been fine. But he just used all of his dual attacks like way too much, I would say. So I just didn't think that was like super efficient. I think there was a couple plays, like I said, protecting the Sensibaro that I could have changed, but it kind of worked out. It was just like my hand, as you can see throughout, it wasn't like amazing. It was just, you know, you got to play what you draw. All right, next up is, and last up probably, is Katakuri. So Katakuri is an interesting matchup because like if you run away with it and if their triggers are really strong, there's not really much you can do about it, honestly. Here, you know, I'm going second, and I kept this hand because I have 2 of the red rocks. I also have 3,000 worlds here, which I'm tempted to play. I think I'm going to play it actually, because I was going to play the Pacifista blocker, but if I draw into Akuma, it's going to be a little bit better for us. So he immediately plays the Shirahoshi, and the following turn for me, since we bottom deck the Charlotte or the Paraspero, so he doesn't have any value from that. I think we just swing 5. We play Sensibaro, we play out a Pacifista, and then we just kind of keep that out there and force him to have like a Thunderbolt or something, which is also good for us. Like he just crits alive, which is good. Here's another 7k swing, which is becoming very annoying. I think we should have countered out of that because, yeah, there's a Thunderbolt. because I think it just felt a little bit better. We're at 8 here. We're gonna swing 7 at this boy here. We're just bait out some more. He kept protecting it, which I didn't really understand. We got rid of one of the Red Hawks. I think we can get rid of a Pacifista or a Missile Sunday because we have 2 Missile Sundays. So it's just the Pacifista doesn't have any counter power. So like it was probably a little bit better. I think he should have swung 8 here, but I think he uses all of his Dawn for something else. And I don't know what he's doing actually. But we got rid of both of the things. Oh, it's like that, right? I forgot it's like that. So we get rid of 2 of our guys. I want to play a Mihawk. But I don't think it's gonna be the. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the play. We go here at 7. I think we do play a Mihawk. Hold on. We do play a Mihawk. Because we could play Centaur. Yeah, I think we play Centaur and then a Missile Sunday afterwards. Because I think the blockers are more important. We're going to have a blocker here, so we don't need another one. We just need another body to swing with. The blockers are important because like if he goes into 10-drop Big Mom, which, you know, that should be obvious. I need a blocker to prevent his swings. But we can get back the Red Hawk to get the Lin. And then after that, we can still use the Centaur effect. So I think that's what we're going to do here. We'll just show our hand first. Get the blocker. We swing 6s until he cries. I'm going to cry because he used the bait on me. It's just running hot. He's running hot here, huh? Not so much. He can control that. I think he should have popped the Pacifista, to be honest. Because if you pop the Pacifista, I think he could have won. Gotta be honest, I think he could have won. Because my hand is, I don't have any counter power in my hand. Like my life had to be like really good. Yeah, I think he could have won there if he just popped the Pacifista. Like it's just really small plays like that really count towards the win. So just keep those in mind. And like I said, I think this matchup is a little weird. It can go either way. And like I said, you can't let either person run away with it. Like here, you know, the Centaur's got really good value. I bottom decked everything I could. And I played into Missile Sunday to bottom deck the very obvious Big Mom that he had. And it was also very obvious since he put all that Dawn underneath Shirahoshi, he didn't really have anything in hand. And because of that, I think you can kind of freely just swing whenever you want. Because he probably had a lot of Big Moms or 7 costs or 10 costs, 8 costs, whatever. That really didn't help him. So, yeah. Hopefully that gives a little insight for Blue Croc. I like the deck a lot. And it's really fun. It's really fun leader in general. Really, I mean, Blue's is in a pretty good place right now. It's not the best color, obviously, because of red. Yellow is right behind it or right near it, right to the side, whatever. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.